Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new day. It is what is it? It's Friday. It was actually early Friday morning. And yeah, this is the Q&A for the 1 year anniversary on YouTube. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you because without all of you this wouldn't be possible. So this has been quite a journey in the first year of YouTube, and I hope to have many more years on YouTube. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support, and just that this is such a positive community on this channel, and I love it. So thank you all for this, all of this for this past year. Okay, so getting into it, I have some questions from some of you that I want to go ahead and answer. And I mentioned before, I did a Q&A back in January, which was Glenn and I's anniversary. So I did a Q&A. So some of you that have been with me for a long time may have heard these things before. But again, just a reminder, a lot of new people coming to the channel. So um, just, I guess, to catch everybody up. All right. So I had someone ask for like pictures of me growing up and in the military. So I do have some pictures from when I was like a little tiny thing, like not a baby, but maybe 4 or 5. So what I'm going to do is they're not on the computer. I'm just like taking pictures of the picture and then putting them on the computer so I can put a slideshow together. And that'll be mainly of me as I'm growing up, graduating high school, in the military, and then, yeah, so as far as Glenn's pictures, we have no pictures of Glenn growing up. There are no pictures. Unfortunately, we don't have that. Um, so yeah. All right, so I'll put that slideshow at the end of the question and answer so you can see, you know. Kind of feel funny about that, putting a whole slideshow of just me growing up, you know. But yeah, that's what you want to see. That's what I'll put out there. So all right. The first thing I'm going to get into questions about my parents, background, what my dad did or how they made a living. I'm not going to get too in depth on that, but my dad did work in construction. First off, my mom and dad was married over 55 years when they passed. Both my parents passed in 2018, and they passed a month and a half apart from each other. So, yeah, they were married over 55 years, and they had 3 kids. I was one of them. I have an older brother that 2 years older than me, and a younger sister that's she's in her 40s, I believe. Yeah, 40s. I do have half siblings, like half brothers and sisters, the same mom but different dads. One of them, my sister, who lives near my brother, and they work at the same place. She's the only one we're close to. So, so I'm actually only in contact with my brother, that's 2 years older than me, and my half sister, which I'm only referring to her as half, just for the sake of the, you know, the sibling part of this. But I consider her just my real sister. Um, yeah, so they're all out in California. And I do have half siblings in Arizona and Wyoming, but haven't spoken in years. So I won't go into that. My younger sister in California, I'm not sure what she's doing. I haven't spoken to her in a long time. So yeah, she's kind of out on her own. She's made a lot of bad decisions in life, and yeah, I won't go into that, but nobody's really talked to her in a long time. So yeah. My dad my dad worked in construction when we were growing up. He was part of a union, so when construction was slow, of course he was out of work, but he always managed to do something to earn money. He was also a musician. My dad played in a Mexican band, and he played guitar, acoustic guitar, and accordion. So he played in the band, and he played at places like on the weekends and stuff, and earned some extra money that way. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, raised the kids. So yeah, they they were wonderful parents. My dad was a great family man. You know, he we have a lot of great memories of my parents, and like when we were growing up, my dad always took us to, well, we always watched like wrestling, professional wrestling. Back then it was called big time wrestling, and it would happen like at the San Francisco Cow Palace. I grew up in Union City, California, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area, across the bay. So he would take us to the wrestling matches. And back when WWE was WWF back then, when Hulk Hogan was in his prime, my dad would take us to wrestling matches, and he also took us to like Oakland A's games at the Oakland Coliseum. And so yeah, my dad was the one to take us to events like that. He'd pack us all in the station wagon, and take us all to the drive-in and watch Clint Eastwood, Dirty Harry movies. So yeah, we did a lot of things as a family, and some things, when he had to play his music, it was usually like at a grown-up party or a bar or something like that. But yeah, my mom, I was close to my mom growing up. Like when I was a teenager, when other teenagers were hanging out with other teenagers and going to the mall and the movies, I was actually hanging out with my mom, and we would go to the mall together and shopping, and we would go to the movies together and go have lunch. And so yeah, I have a lot of good memories of both my mom and dad. So um but my mom and dad were both Mexican. I'm also Apache Indian, coming from my dad's side, his mother, which would be my grandma. And as far as my mom's lineage, we kind of lost it, because she was given up, and yeah, so she didn't know her family. So I won't go into that too much, but we don't know the history of my mom's family. Only up to my grandma, which would have been her mom. We just know that part of it and nothing else after that. So yeah. But yeah, love my mom and dad very much. I still do, even though they've gone on, and I miss them very much. But what keeps me going is they left me with a lot of good memories. I mean, there'll be times that I'm cooking, and I'll be cooking something my dad used to cook for us, or my mom, and I just kind of tear up, but then it would quickly turn to a smile, because I always feel like they're there with me. So yeah, I miss them and love them very much. All right, I kind of went over the siblings already. Someone asked about children. For me, why I decided not to have children. I decided at a very young age not to have children. When I babysat for my one of my older brothers, not the one I just spoke of in California. This was a different brother, and he was staying with us, and I think it was like, I might have been like 11 or 12 years old, and he had a baby. And he asked me to babysit once. And at that time, I was trying to play outside. I agreed to babysit, but I was still a kid. I wanted to play outside. So while I'm babysitting, me and my brother and the neighborhood kids were playing outside, but I got to babysit. So I put the baby to sleep, went outside, came in and checked on him. As soon as he woke up, I tried to rock him back to sleep, you know. So it's that kind of was the start of me like, I don't know if I want kids, and ever since then, I never faltered from not wanting kids. Not that I have anything against kids, but I always enjoyed my freedom. I always just wanted my freedom. And, and kids aren't for everybody. So, but it's good that I realized that I didn't want kids before I had them. And maybe it would have been a good situation. I don't know. But yeah, that's why I don't want kids. I like to have my freedom. And that was from when I was that age, about 11 or 12, all the way into my adulthood. And then as Glenn and I are together, he does not have kids that we know of, at least. But no, he does not have kids. And when we met in the chat room, my question to him was, do you have kids, and were you previously married? And I had these questions because I had just gotten out of a relationship that was like 14 years, and I raised that person's 2 boys for 12 years. So just because I didn't have my own kids doesn't mean I didn't raise any kids. But I knew it was something I did not want to get into again, because it's a very hard situation. No matter how many good times you have, there's always going to be that step parent, thing. And maybe it doesn't happen to everybody, but I knew I didn't want to get into that again. So I had asked Glenn if he had kids. He did not, which made me very happy. But on the flip side, Glenn did not want kids either. So that's a part of what, made it better of us getting together. So I no, it's not that I struggled with fertility or anything like that. I just didn't want kids growing up, and Glenn did not want kids either. So we do not hope to have children of our own. We have the kids we want, which are 4-legged furry ones. And those are the only kids we want. We have 2 cats, and there are last 2 remaining cats. We started off with 8 cats when we moved here. They were all rescue cats, and we have 2 left. So we discussed a couple of times about a dog, having a dog. So we don't know if that's going to happen yet. If it does, when it'll happen. But those are the only kids we want. So, and we're happy that way, because not only me, growing up, not wanting kids, wanting my freedom, but we, as Glenn and I, we like our freedom as well. And so we just don't want kids. Not that we wish any harm upon kids. We just don't want our own. That's what it is. So, all right. So that's that. I had to write down the question so I wouldn't forget. Okay. Favorite holiday. Do I have a favorite holiday, and why? Well, at one time I would have said Christmas is my favorite holiday. And it probably is, but my actual favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you why. Because, one, I love turkey dinner. And I know you don't need Thanksgiving to have a turkey dinner, but it makes it all that more special. But Thanksgiving is leading into the Christmas season, and the Christmas season is my favorite. So Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because it leads into the Christmas season, if that makes sense to you guys. But I'm very much a fall person. I love fall. Thanksgiving comes with fall. And then it leads right into my favorite season, which is Christmas. Yes, we have 4 seasons. Winter, spring, summer, fall. And if you ask what my 2 favorite seasons are, I'm going to tell you fall and Christmas. So I made Christmas a different season. But yeah, fall, I guess, or Thanksgiving would be my favorite holiday because of going into the Christmas season. So, why is Glenn in a mobility scooter and can he walk around the house? Glenn is in a mobility scooter because he can't walk. I'll get to walking around the house in a second. But his back is just basically done for. His legs are shot. His back is shot. His back is full of arthritis. And it just, he can't walk. He can't walk, except he can walk around the house, but not all of around the house. He can walk from like the bedroom to the bathroom, and by the time he gets back to the bedroom, he's done for. He barely makes it sometimes, but he does do it. But that's as far as he can walk. He pushes himself to walk. Like when it's springtime, it's time to go outside, he'll push himself to walk from the bedroom to right outside the front door, where I'll bring his scooter so he can grab onto it. We do have a ramp in the hallway that goes out to the front, in which like he uses that to walk back up. And so we only have like 2 steps into the house, and he can't do that. So he can walk a little bit in the house, but yeah, his back is full of arthritis. His back and legs are pretty much done for. So that's why he's in a scooter. What programs do I use for my thumbnails? I had gotten a comment, thank you Kelly, that she thinks my thumbnails are cute. I use free apps on my phone. All my thumbnails are done on my phone. I use 2 apps. One is Collage Maker, where like when I'm doing a video, I'll take photos of different things in the video, and then I'll make a collage of that, and then I'll use Text on Photo app to put the wording on it, and then because you have to resize it to like a YouTube thumbnail, and then I'll use those 2 apps for my thumbnails. But yeah, and they're both free. I don't pay for anything. My video editor, I don't pay for it. I just use whatever is free and basic. So that's what I use. Would it be advantageous for you financially or security-wise to be married to Glenn? Not at this point, because Glenn isn't receiving anything that is dependent on if he's married or, how many people in the house or anything like that. The only thing that would be advantageous for is if Glenn were to pass away before me, then I would receive part of his retirement. And that's the only way it would come into play. So other than that, right now as we're living, no. We talk about getting married, and we've been talking about it for years. We just never seem to get our butt down to the courthouse to do it. We wouldn't have a big wedding, obviously, because we just don't get together with people, and we're just not people crowd people. And so when we do get married, it'll be at the courthouse, and that's it. So, will I ever do a live stream? Yes, I will. As soon as I figure out how to do a live stream, I've never really looked into doing a live stream. So as soon as I figure out how to do a live stream, I will set one up, and hopefully it goes well. But yeah, and that way we can talk in real time or chat or whatever it's called. So yeah. So those were the questions that came through. I hope I didn't miss anybody's questions, and I hope I answered everybody's questions. Yeah, so like as far as my parents, I didn't want to get too much into detail, but just, the basics of where I came from. My mom and dad, my dad's name was Rocky, which was short English for his Spanish name, his Mexican name, which is Roque, which is Roque. But everybody called him Rocky, except his, what you would call friends in Spanish, compadres. My mom's name was Angie. I think that's all the questions I got. Oh yeah, I'll just put at the end of this video, you'll see a slideshow of me growing up from when I was small to like, I played softball, I joined the military, and just kind of like some school pictures that I threw in there. But yeah, so I guess that's it. So thank you everyone for your questions. I appreciate it. And again, thank you all for your support and making this a wonderful year in the YouTube community. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I hope we're together many more years. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the slideshow. I kind of feel funny because I just put a slideshow of me. But somebody did request some pictures. We don't have any like super old pictures. I actually think I'll throw a couple pictures in of my mom and dad, some from years ago. And I think I have one when they were like super young. They might have been in their 20s or something. I don't know. So yeah, all right. That's it for the Q&A. Again, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. And I hope you enjoyed this little video. And let's make another year great on YouTube. So with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.